Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with Shadowfax today. And yes, he's free ranging on the septic field. He's not in his pen. I've had a lot of questions recently about this guy free ranging. And he's such a good boy. And I can hear the ducks in there. But he's such a good boy, and he's always just wandering around by himself like this. Well, not by himself. Arwen's usually wandering around with him, but apparently she's decided to collapse in the gateway. But she's a fainting goat. They collapse. So I've had a lot of questions about free ranging your mini horse and whether or not you should do it. I'm going to answer that question very quickly. And then I'll talk a little bit more about why we free range and how we go about doing it. No, do not free range your mini horse. I say that because it's not going to work for probably 90-95% of miniature horse owners. And now everyone's had a horse get out. That's a vehicle. He's like, what the heck is that noise? It's a vehicle. You're fine. But, hi, bud. Yeah, it's just a farm truck. Yeah. He's like, all right, then. But for, most people, we've all had our animals escape. Which horse owner hasn't chased their horse down the road? Hasn't gone searching the fields because a gate failed or a fence got knocked down in a storm or whatever. Someone forgot to shut a gate. That happens a lot. So we've all had a horse escape. We've all had a goat escape. We've all had all these things happen. And yeah, he's muddy. It's been raining. So we've all had that happen, and most of us managed to catch them again and get them back. Good for us. Yay! But the problem is going to become when you can't catch them. And if you think about if your horse has escaped, or your goat, and you have had to chase them for umpteen hours. I've known people who have been looking for their horses for days after they escape. He's walking faster than me, so I'm not even trying to keep up. But, bug in my face. That's not fun. But we all know somebody who's looked for their horse for a day and a half or longer. It happens, right? People they have to keep looking because they can't find them or they can't catch them or whatever. What happens a lot of times, if you try to free range your miniature horse like we are, did you get spooked? It's okay. But what happens a lot of times, if you try to free range like we do, you end up with your miniature horse kind of taken off. He's not going to take off for a couple of reasons. First of all, he didn't have the easiest start in life. He was abused and neglected. It happened. It was bad for him. If you were following us when I first started filming, he was still a little bit skinny. He's looking great now. Look at that butt. Nice wide butt. He looks excellent now. He doesn't want to come in right now. He's busy. Arwen's calling him. She doesn't want him out. She wants him to come home with her. You come be with him. But so he didn't have the greatest start in life. And because he didn't have the greatest start in life, when he found Tristan, my son, my older son, he fell in love with Tristan, and he and Tristan are really, really close. So you will notice that as Shadowfax free ranges, Tristan's actually putting a greenhouse together. So as Shadowfax free ranges, what's going to happen is once in a while, he gets a little bit nervous and he decides he's going to go back and stand near Tristan because he's very attached to Tristan. So he will go back towards Tristan. So that's excellent because he won't stay gone for long. He gets a little bit away and then he goes, oh, I better get back over there. And that's excellent. The other thing he's got going for him is this little lady. He has been with Arwen since Arwen was 3 weeks old. Arwen was a tiny, tiny little goat. Okay, and she needed him. She needed this guy here. He basically turned into her dad. Even though he's a horse and she's a goat, he still turned into her dad. So because he turned into her dad, and she's really, really close to him, and he's really close to her, He's not going anywhere without her. And she's not leaving the property. She just won't. Right now she's being with him because she doesn't want to be away from him. But he'll go back to the barnyard if she's pitching a big enough fit so that they get to hang out together. So that's what Shadowfax has going for him, and why we don't necessarily have to worry. I'm going to go over to his other side. But why we don't necessarily have to worry when he's free-ranging. He's not going anywhere. We don't have to chase him. He knows that he'll get to come out again. And he knows one of the things we do when it's home time, that's what we call it. When it's home time, he gets a scoop of snacks, grain or his feed or whatever, it doesn't matter. But he gets a scoop of snacks. And because he gets his scoop of snacks, and that's when he gets his snacks, and he knows that, and he knows he'll always get to go outside again. Outside meaning not in the barnyard. But because he knows that he's going to get to come out here and munch to his heart's content for sometimes hours upon hours a day, he is willing to go home. Because he knows we're going to let him back out. It's not a big deal. We can catch him, we can call him. He is such a good horse. But I will fully admit, that's not going to be the case for a lot of people. Okay, we don't even have to put him on a lead rope to get him back in the pen. We just call him, show him that it's snack time, and tell him it's home time, and off they go. Okay, and there's Arwen having some snacks too. She's eating weeds. She's a little weed eater. We love that. So we don't have a problem with Shadowfax free-ranging. We let him out on purpose. Only when we're out here. We're not going to let him out and then go off to the store. Whoop, did you fall? Did you trip? So we're not going to take off and leave Shadowfax loose. We wouldn't do that. That would be irresponsible. But we know him. We know his behavior. We know exactly what he's going to do in most situations. If he were to spook right now, he'd run back to Tristan. Because that's what he does. Because he gets nervous. This is our fire pit. Oh, I fell in a hole. I just stepped in a hole. But he is very, very good. We don't have a problem with him free-ranging. He doesn't go anywhere. That's not going to be the case for most people. You have to know your horse. You have to know that, one, you're going to be able to catch him without a whole lot of chasing, because the worst thing that could happen is him getting hit by a car, one, him getting hurt, or two, something else that could happen. We have farmer fields all around us. What if he goes into the farmer field and destroys some of their crop? That's our responsibility. What if he wanders down the road and gets in the neighbor's flower bed? That's our responsibility. So just like with any free-ranging animal, you are responsible. Arwen's going home, but she's tired. But just like with any other free-ranging animal, you're responsible for what they do when they're free-ranging. So he's free-ranging right now. If he goes and destroys the neighbor's planter, that's our fault. So you don't want them damaging property, yours or someone else's, and you certainly don't want them getting hurt. So because of that, I usually tell people, no, you shouldn't free-range your mini horse. We know him, we know his background, we know how he's going to respond in most situations. We know that he can free range. Obviously he can free range. We've done it so often. There's many, many videos and many, many people. There's Arwen. Look at that cutie. Look at that cutie. Getting some leaves. Look at her. She's tall. Or making herself tall. Nom, nom, nom. She prefers leaves to grass. Anyway, back to him. But, not the point. I got distracted. Little ADHD going on right now. Anyway, I tell people they shouldn't free range their horse. Because I don't want to be responsible and someone come at me going, well, you free ranged your horse, so I free ranged mine and he ran away. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. Or he got into the neighbor's field and he ate all their corn. Yeah, that might happen too. So, he's a mini horse, so he's small, but horses are still big animals. Even though he's small, he's still a larger animal. He can do some damage. It is not okay to free-range your horse in a way that will injure him or will injure your property or someone else's property. Okay? If you are not 100% sure and you haven't practiced in a smaller enclosed space, and you don't know that he responds well, and you don't know that you can catch him easily, whether you do that by walking up to him and putting a lead on him, or we just go grab a thing of snacks, tell him we have snacks and it's home time, and go walk to the pen and he follows us. However you catch him, you have to be able to do those things, and you have to be able to do them reliably. Because if you can't do them reliably, then you can't free range your horse, because what if you can't catch him? What if you can't catch him and he runs up to the highway and gets hit? So even though I free range Shadowfax a lot, I would never tell somebody else that they should free range their horse, because you do not know what's going to happen. You do not know if he is going to be able to be safe, to be caught. You need to be able to catch your mini horse. So if you can't free range him safely, and if you can't catch him with 100% accuracy, it's not a good idea. That said, if you know your mini horse, you might be able to do it. If you have a mini horse that is as interesting as he is, and is as attached to his family as this dude is, then you absolutely might be able... Where are you going? Then you absolutely might be able to free range him. The cats are fine. The cats are fighting and Arwen is stressed about it. The cats are fine. She's stressed out about it. But that being said, maybe you can free range your miniature horse. But I am not one to tell people that they should free range their mini, because you have to be able to catch him. You have to keep him safe. That's your responsibility, whether he's in a pen or not. So, should you free range your mini? Probably not. So please be very careful, and don't necessarily do it because you see other people doing it. Every horse is different. Every horse needs to be treated as an individual, and he can free range. That doesn't mean everyone can. That's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Keep your guys safe. We'll see you tomorrow.